Okay, today we're going to learn about how to solve two-step equations with our calculators. Now, you're going to be using the calculator that is on your computer. I am going to have to use this one because the one that we normally use, and they work the same and they look the same, but I want to project to you what I'm doing. Okay, so that is why I'm using this one. So we are going to start by getting our orange sheets out or a yellow sheet. Either one will work because they have the steps for solving equations using the TI calculator on the back. Let me get this focused. Since it's not focused, we need to make sure and get it focused. There we go. And then I'm going to lock it. All right. So, first off, I want you to turn your calculator on, okay? And obviously this one hasn't been cleared, so I'm going to hit second plus 712 and get it cleared. The first thing you always do is you have to set your windows. And your windows will only give you answers between whatever you set your windows at. So for 8th grade math, we have found that 100 usually works. We don't have generally answers that are greater than 100 or less than negative 100. So we're going to teach you to automatically set your windows at negative 100 and 100. And you always do this when you are going in and solving an algebraic equation. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to push the Windows key. And if you notice up here next to the Y, it says window. And it's right there on the top, and you need to do this on your calculator on the screen. You're going to push the Windows key. And it says X minimum, and it says on your screen here, it says push window, enter the following using the negative keys where indicated. Okay? So, if it says X minimum, that is the minimum amount. We want to put negative key 100. Then you're going to arrow down to X maximum, and you're going to push 100. Now remember, you can pause this video at any time if you need to catch up with me or to get something that you need. So just remember, you can always pause and then restart the video. This XSCL, you're going to leave at 1, so you're just going to arrow down and past it. Okay? Y minimum is negative 100, and Y maximum is 100. Okay? When you do this, after you're done, you're going to push second key and quit, which we should know how to do by now. Alright, to solve an algebraic equation, you do the following. Okay? You have two sides of this equation. You have one side, the left side of the equal sign, and you have the right side of the equal sign. So here's our steps that we use. Okay? And so we're going to push y equals. Here's an algebraic equation, 5x plus 5 equals 25. Okay? And enter the first part of the equation using y1. So we're going to put in 5, and then we're going to use this key right here. You can't use alphas or anything like that. You're going to use this key right here next to where it says alpha, but it says X, T. You're going to use that. Okay? And you're going to use X no matter what the variable is. If the variable is C, if the variable is N, if the variable is T, you're just, in this calculator, you're going to always use X. And then we need to put our plus 5. Okay? Enter the second part of the equation using Y2. So then we're going to arrow down, and we're going to push 25, because that is the second half of the equation. And I'll show you a little trick you can do to kind of keep that straight. Then it says push graph. And graph is right here. It is another gray key. and it's right here on the corner, and so we're going to just push graph. And what you're going to see is 2 lines, okay? And the first, and you have to wait till both of the lines come on the calculator. If you do anything before both the lines, and sometimes the second line takes a few minutes to show up, so you have to wait till you see 2 lines come across the calculator, okay? Then it says push second key, trace, which is right here, this gray button right here, trace. Then you want the intersection of those 2 lines is your answer, so you're going to press 5. Then it says first curve, so you're going to press enter. Second curve, you're going to press enter. Then it says guess, and you're going to press enter, and it's going to give you this point where those 2 lines intersect is the solution, and it's where x is equal to 4. Now the actual point is 425. It's 4 for x, 25. If you were writing a coordinate point, you would write that as 4, 25. But that's not what we want. We want, when we're solving this equation, we want to know what x equals. So x is equal to 4. So that would be your answer. So it should, and 4 is your answer. Okay? The tricky thing about this calculator is knowing when to use the negative sign and when to use the subtract sign. So I've given you this little hint down here, and it will become pretty apparent. All right? You always use the negative sign for a single number or variable. In other words, something that looks just like this, you use the negative sign. You use it for an expression. Negative 5x is an expression. So you always use it when it's out front, is another way to say this. Before these things, you use it, the negative sign, okay? When you use the subtract sign, it is when it is between 2 numbers, 2 variables, a variable and a number. So examples are 5 subtract 2, x subtract y, 2x subtract 3, 7 subtract 2x. Now if you had something like negative 5x subtract 5, okay, this is the negative key, this is the subtract key. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to draw a little arrow, negative key, and I'm going to draw an arrow here, and I'm going to say subtract key. Okay? Just to give you an idea of which ones are used where. All right? So let's try some practice problems. And then I'm going to show you when you get an error because you've done the wrong sign. Okay? So we're going to get off this screen, the only way to get off this screen is second and quit. Okay? So my windows are set, so I'm just going to put in, and what you can do is you can draw a line down your equal sign. This is your y1, this is your y2. All right? So when you have y equals is the first thing, and remember my old equation is here, so I need to clear that. Go down to y2, clear that. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong thing. Go back up to y1. And I'm going to put the left side of the equation, 2, and I'm going to use the x key, plus 5. Then I'm going to arrow down, and under y2, I'm going to push 13. Then remember, I'm going to go back to my instructions. Second part says push graph. So I'm going to press the graph key. It says wait for the graph to come up on screen. There will be 2 lines. Both must come on the screen before you proceed. Okay? So we've got 2 lines. Next, and some calculators will have color, where one will be one color, one will be another color. All right? Just so you know, the ones we have here in this room, they only have black. Okay? But the ones on your computer, I'm not sure if they have colors or not. I have not explored that. So then it says here, we pressed graph, so now we push the second key, we press trace, we want the intersection, which is 5, enter, 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 and it says x is equal to 4. So we're just going to write over here, x is equal to 4. And we're going to go to the next one, okay? Now I'm going to show you a problem that might happen with the next one. If I'm going to go back to y equals, I'm going to hit clear, I'm going to arrow down and hit clear, I'm going to arrow back up to y1, and I'm going to try 4x subtract 3. 4x, but I'm not going to use the subtract key. I'm going to show you what happens if you use the wrong sign. Okay, number one, I'm going to put it in wrong. I'm going to use the negative key. Then I'm going to show you also what it looks like, the difference, okay? So first off, can you see the difference, how the negative key is high and short, and the subtract key is in the middle exactly, and it's longer. So that's one clue to tell you which key you've pushed if you push the wrong one. If you push the wrong one, okay, I'm going to put in 9 here, and then if I press to graph, oh, it's working this time. It shouldn't work. Sometimes when you push the wrong key in, it will give you an error message. And I need second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. Well, let's see what happens here. Let's go back, because that says negative 0.75. I think that might be the wrong answer. So let's go here and do it correctly and put subtract 3. Hit second graph. Oh, no. Sorry. Now I'm getting myself confused. Second and quit. Hit y equals, here's my equation, 4x subtract 3 and 9. So let's hit graph. And then let's hit second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. So, do you notice how the answer is different? Some calculators, if you use the wrong sign, it'll actually just give you an error message. In this instance, it gave me the wrong answer. So you're going to need to make sure you get that negative and that subtract key down when you use what. So here is x is equal to 3. Now, we call this the invisible 1. This is really negative 1x plus 5 is equal to 1. If you will build the habit when you see a negative sign in front of a variable to put a 1 there, you will never get it wrong. So I'm going to put this here. This is y1. This is y2. I'm going to go and hit my y equals key. I'm going to hit clear, come down to y2, hit clear, go back up to y1, and I'm going to put negative 1x plus 5. Now, if I wasn't to put that 1 in, it will not make me get the wrong answer if I put negative x. I just wanted you to know that when you don't have a variable, when you don't have a number in front of a variable, it's because it's a 1. And remember, I keep telling you, we're lazy mathematicians. We leave things off all the time on things that won't make a difference. Okay? So then I'm going to put my 1 under y2. I'm going to hit graph. I have to wait for both lines to show up. There was one. I think the other one went across there and I must have missed it. So second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. So x is equal to 4 again. Okay? Now, you need to make sure you put things in just like you see them for this to work. So I'm going to do my line, y1, y2. I'm going to go back to my y equals. I'm going to hit clear, go down, hit clear. Okay? And I'm going to do 3 parentheses, x plus 2 parentheses. then, oh, I'm sorry. Now it doesn't matter which one I put where. I'm going to get the same answer, but I'm going to teach you to keep things consistent. 3, I'm under y1, parentheses, x plus 2, parentheses. I'm going to go down to y2, put my 15 in. We should be getting familiar with these steps by now. Hit graph. There's 1 line. There's 2 lines. I'm going to hit second, trace, 5, enter, 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 and I find that x is equal to 3. I'm going to do one more problem with you, and then you have your practice to do. All right, y equals, clear it, and go down, clear it, go back up. I've got y1 and y2. Remember, the left side is y1, the right side is y2. I've got 2 parentheses 2x, subtract 1 because it's in between, okay? Close your parentheses, go down and put 10. All right, hit graph. There's my 2 lines. Hit second, trace, 5, enter, 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 and you end up with x is equal to 3. Oh, all those answers were very close, okay? I do want to stress this. There's a couple of things that you need to know about for an assignment that's coming up. And I want to talk about this situation. I want to talk about this situation. They are fractions. And whenever you have fractions on this calculator, you want to put parentheses around them. So please write this at the top so that you remember. You need to put parentheses, x divided by 5, close your parentheses, and then whatever else you have to do. Here it's parentheses 1 divided by 2 parentheses, okay? So the parentheses keys are right here, right on top of 8 and 9. I know we've talked about them before on 8 and 9. So if I had an equation that said x over 5 plus 5 is equal to 25, I would do this. And I'm going to show you this one just so you know how to handle it. Okay? Y equals, clear, go down to y2, clear. Go back up to y1. Open your parentheses, hit your x, divided by 5, close your parentheses, plus 5. Then go down to y2 and put in your 25. And that's how you enter it, just like you see it, but you have to remember to put this in parentheses. And every fraction is basically a division problem. And then you would just do it the same way. You would hit graph. Then you would hit second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. And it would tell you your intersection is where x is equal to 100. Okay? So that would be your answer, x is equal to 100. And that's all I have to do, all I have to show you today. So you have an assignment solving 2-step equations. So please finish that and turn it in on your computers. Thank you.